works for science fair workshops. If you notice, see how we're like sitting here in this voice channel? This voice channel is organized in the science fair category. So you can see the in all caps it says science fair. If you see the text channels right above the voice channel we're in right now, and then right above that it says science fair. This is the science fair category. Everything that you'll need will be within this category, okay? So if you can look at the text channels, there's science fair announcements. This is all the everything we're gonna put like it's pretty self-explanatory announcements relating to science fair polls. This one is pretty cool. So as you can see, I'll make a poll right now. So like I'll say, how are you? Good. Bad. Okay. So if you see in the text science fair polls channel, you can respond to the poll depending on, we ask a question. Maybe we'll say like, have you done this, or like, do you like understand something? And then you can respond with whatever you want. It's pretty simple. Science fair discussion. You guys can obviously discuss whatever you want. We'll answer questions in here. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can put it in this channel. Bot commands. I don't think you guys can see that, but you guys shouldn't have access to that anyway because we won't even be using it. So yeah, that's pretty much how Discord works. Every time we have a science fair workshop, you just log into this. You open Discord and you click this same voice channel, and it'll work. Everything will be good. Wait, can I leave the Discord or not? What do you mean by leave Discord? Like close out of the application? If by that, no, you can't, because then you'll exit the voice call.
Well, like if you're on your phone, yes, you can scroll out. You can like go out of the app, yeah, sure. And if you're
you can like click home, but the app will still stay open in the background. You can't like completely close the app, meaning like you can't. You know how you double tap home and you swipe up? You can't do that, or else it'll kick you out of the voice. It'll kick you out of the voice call.
Yeah, you can like go to other windows and stuff, and that'll be fine.
Yeah, they set a restriction. Oh shoot! I'll fix it. Okay, Michael's brother can't join. We gotta get Michael's brother to join. Oh, is he here? Did he join? No. All right. It says, okay, Alex, you have to turn off your voice. You have to turn off your camera. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, oops, that's not bad.
Yeah, because I forgot. No one's server anymore. We need Theo and his brother to pull up and
yeah, I told Theo to join, so hopefully he does.
Hello.
Can I leave the Discord?
Hello, James.
Yeah.
Hi, Hutch.
Hello, James.
Turn cam.
How many of the people here know me and Ashton and some other people from this summer or last year?
I know Alex.
Ashton? What? Do you not remember Ashton?
Yeah.
I know Alex. I know Ashton. I've heard of Aditya.
I've heard.
You probably haven't heard of it.
Well,
you probably haven't heard of Aditya.
Is that Rohit's older brother? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And then I've heard of Hutch.
All right. Anyway, so I think we can probably. Should we maybe wait like one more minute?
Yeah, let's wait a couple minutes. I think people will still be hopping in.
Okay. We can play like a little game or something in the meantime.
So what are we gonna be doing?
So there's a good mix of people in here, right? Some people might already have their ideas, some people might not. So we'll be splitting up into groups of where people kind of are and kind of go from there.
Oh, so are you guys gonna be like coming into groups with us and like asking us questions about it and helping us?
Yeah, pretty much. First, we're going to start with a presentation where we'll kind of give you a couple of strategies and techniques you can use for coming up with an idea if you're not quite there yet. And then we'll kind of go into more of we'll do a Kahoot activity, and then we'll go more into like an individual like mentorship kind of thing where we'll talk to you each individually and like get a good idea for where you're at right now.
That sounds great.
Cool.
Those of you from last year in the summer, really great to see you guys again. Or
Good to hear you again.
I can't really see anyone. Okay.
Somebody playing the recorder?
Sorry, that's my whistling.
Oh, sorry.
It looks like some people are still joining. Yeah.
Are there? No.
Yeah. I see people. Yeah, people are still coming in the welcome channel.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of people here are new to the Discord thing, guys. So
Yeah. Let me see how many members we have now. Actually,
I'm interested. It must be over 300 now, is it?
Yeah, it's somewhere around.
292. 292.
Oh, guys, get 8 of your friends. Get 8 of your friends to join, and we'll be at 300.
Get as many of your friends
Mission
to join.
Impossible.
We're trying to get it to 500 by the end of by mid-October.
Mid-October.
Do they have to? Do they have to be in? Do they have to be doing science fair?
No, this and like also this workshop isn't only meant for people who are doing science fair, because it's also meant for like people who are just interested in scientific research in general, because this is like a good science fair is kind of like a good framework for getting into research, because scientific research isn't only science fair. It's like when you get to like a professional level, you could like be doing real research and like, you know, developing new stuff.
I see.
Yeah, this is kind of like an introduction to that, and we're trying to get you guys hyped about it, because it honestly is really cool.
Hyped.
Can I tell Rawson to join?
Rawson? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rawson as in like our grade Rawson?
Yeah.
Does he know? Does he have to? Oh, I guess you can share the link with him. Oh, that's funny.
Wait, who's trying to get Rawson to join?
Oh, we have Zoe's sister in here.
James.
Oh, James? Yeah, you
Well,
should
we're
get
trying to
Rawson
get to 300, right?
We're trying to get to 300, yeah.
Is that Rohit?
Okay, well, it's 5:35. I think we can get started. Oh, it looks like, okay, she's in general for some reason. I'm gonna move her. Okay, so Caitlin, if you wanna get started, I guess actually Alex and I, since this is the first workshop, Alex and I can introduce ourselves and teach to learn for
Okay.
those who are kind of new, and then yeah, it looks like we have a decent bit of people. So anyway, I'm Ashton, and that's Alex. Yeah, and we are both current seniors at College Park. We also go to the academy. If any of you guys are either planning to join, it's a really good thing, and that's kind of what got us both introduced to science, or at least at like a serious level, right? We've been doing science for, you know, and for at least Alex, well, for a couple of years now. I've been doing it since 7th grade, but I definitely got a lot more involved last year, and I've really seen how much benefit it has. And yeah, so I guess from a more general perspective, we kind of created this organization, Teach to Learn, right? It's not like a club or anything. It's just kind of an idea we had, because we noticed at least a lot of people our age, right? They weren't necessarily that motivated about anything, or that interested about anything. And then we also saw people who were like really passionate about something, like really passionate about computer science. They're creating these like crazy apps that like real companies were using, or they're developing like novel research that brought them like to international level competition. We're like, okay, why isn't everybody as motivated like that, right? So this is kind of the reasoning why we created this organization as a whole. And so the goal of this workshop in particular is to get you guys really involved and excited about scientific research, because at a surface level, it might sound kind of boring, I guess, in a sense. But like once we start getting into it, like the possibilities and creativity that you guys can have with this is actually, it's endless to a sense, right? And yeah, so I guess I'll let Caitlin, who is the Science Fair Ambassador for Teach to Learn, start presenting and introduce herself, I guess, too.
Yeah. Hi guys, my name is Caitlin Bird, and I'm in the Academy also as a freshman this year. So last year I was involved in the Science Fair workshops actually as a student. So I've been in you guys' like shoes before, and I know how the way it works, and I understand going through the Science Fair process in junior high. And although a lot of things are going to look pretty different this year for Science Fair due to our current situation, we're all going to try and make the most of this and holding these workshops now on an online platform. So first of all, I know a lot of you were with us in the summer, so you've already probably got a bit of an idea of a project you may have in mind of what you want to do. And even if you weren't with us in the summer but already have a really solid like idea of what you want to base your project on, we're going to split you into one group. And then if you really just aren't sure yet, not really sure which direction you want to head in, or just want some further advice, we'll split you into another group. So if you have a good idea of what you want to do for a project, go ahead and join Science Fair. Wait, are we going to do the first set of slides all together?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do the first 4 slides. That's an introduction to who the mentors are, and basically just an overview of what Teach to Learn.
Survey, Science Fair Group 1, Ethan an hour.
Okay, so yeah, first of all, we're just going to introduce ourselves all together, and then we'll split up into those groups. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that. Sorry, one
These are
second.
old messages.
And for this first set of workshop, for this first set, could you all please mute yourselves just while we go through the first bit of this presentation?
Sure.
Okay, so like I said, this is going to serve as an overview for the ideation processes and techniques you guys can use as you start to go into Science Fair. So this is all going to revolve around you finding a project idea.
Can you
Like
hear
what?
what she's saying? Hello?
Is my connection clear?
Yeah,
Hello?
go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So, like Ashton was saying, it's really important that you have a passion that you're driven by when you do a Science Fair project, because that's really going to motivate you and make the process that much more enjoyable and make you more successful in it. So, first of all, we're going to introduce ourselves, then we're going to kind of cover the basics for this first introductory workshop. And then if you don't know what you're doing yet, which is totally okay, we're going to take a short survey. Then we'll do a Kahoot all together, which will just be a bit of a fun activity for today. And then we'll cover any questions you guys may have and go in depth with each student. So, like we said, we are Teach to Learn. So we're a student-led nonprofit organization that strives to inspire young students, you guys, to discover and pursue passions to help you be more successful as you go into high school and further. And so, like I said, I'm Caitlin, and all my projects these past 2 years have revolved around engineering type categories and aerospace specifically. Then, whenever you want.
Hi guys, my name is Connor, and I'm a sophomore at the Academy of Science and Technology at College Park. And I mainly have experience in the environmental sciences. I've done an environmental science project last year, and I'm currently doing this one this year. And I chose this one because it's pretty applicable to the real world, especially now.
Hi, so my
am a sophomore at the academy and I have experience in plant sciences. So I did a plant science project last year, and in 8th grade, I think I did like an environmental science project.
Alright, hey guys, I'm Nuja. I have experience in math and chemistry, and I'm a sophomore at the academy.
Hi, I'm Rotem. I am a sophomore at the Academy of Science Technology at College Park, and I have experience in medicine and health.
Then we also have Nathan, who is a senior, and he's very experienced in computer science projects. A lot of y'all may know him from the computer science workshops because he's also involved in those. But then we also have a couple of other mentors if they want to go ahead and just say a couple of words about themselves.
Yeah, I'm Ved. I wasn't on the picture thing, but I'm a sophomore in the Academy of Science and Technology, and I have experience in computer science and engineering projects.
Hey, I'm Aditya. I'm a junior at the academy, and I have experience in computer science category.
Okay, so now's the point in the workshop where we're basically just going to divide up. So in the first group, if you already have a very good idea of what kind of project you're looking to do, or if you were with us in the summer, you can go ahead and join that voice channel. Here, who's gonna go in there as a mentor?
I can go lead that.
Sorry, which voice channel?
Right under the general science fair one where we're in right now, it's science fair group 1.
Okay, just group 1 for. Okay.
Yes, group 1, if you already know what you want to do. And then if you don't yet, we'll be going much more in depth with you in group number 2. So you can go ahead and click that to join. Hey guys, so I'm going to give everyone a minute to just get sorted out because we have quite a large call right now, so okay, so looks like this is what we have. Yeah, okay, so what I'm basically going to do with each of you guys is we're going to cover kind of the curriculum for our summer series workshops so that you guys can have a good understanding and still have the same resources that they got when they did those. And then after that, we'll be able to play a Kahoot, and then I can talk to each of you individually, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll have more an idea of which categories or which topics you're looking to study. So I'm going to share my screen again. Oh, and since this is such a small group, if you want to, feel free to turn on your cameras. We want to replicate this as much as to like an in-person workshop as we possibly can.
Oh yeah, guys, don't be shy. We're not professional teachers, so don't feel that way. We're not like secretly judging you as to what you're doing at all times.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you guys need to like hold back, I guess. Feel free to discuss as much as you want about science fair or anything relating to that topic.
Yeah, and if anything comes up, feel free to just like say it. That's okay. We want to make this as interactive as it possibly can be. So, what is science fair? How many of you have done a science fair project before? Here, do you want to just turn on your mics and say, so, should I do a poll?
Oh yeah, it's probably best to do a poll.
Yeah.
Just to then, and remember to put science fair group 2 before you do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait. That did not work.
I think you're supposed to put question
Yeah.
mark poll.
Is it parentheses poll?
I think it's question mark, and then you put parentheses.
Okay, yeah.
around the button.
Sorry, Connor, could you do it? It's been a while.
Sorry, what?
Could you set up the poll?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
having
sure.
times. Okay, sorry. Okay, in just a minute, guys, there will be a poll under Science Fair polls. That will allow us to be able to see how many of you have done Science Fair before.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's that. Okay.
So then you just, all right.
Okay.
Has done science fair before. All right, there we go.
Okay. So under Science Fair polls channel, which you should see on the left side, you'll be able to click on that and vote. Okay, so it looks pretty 50-50.
Yeah, it looks like we have a pretty even ratio as to who's done science fair before and who hasn't. Should we put a poll as to to check what grade everybody's in, because that'll probably give us a better idea as to what our audience is.
Yeah.
Thank you for the poop emotes.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Okay.
All right, it looks like a slight majority of you have actually done science before, so that's good.
That's enough.
Which grade is 8th grade?
We're having a little bit of problems with the polls right now. Sorry, give me a second, guys. I apologize.
It's all good.
All right. There's a poll up there, and if those don't represent you, if you're not through 5th through 9th, then just unmute your mic if you feel comfortable and just say what grade you're in. Okay, so it looks like most of you are 8th or 9th graders. Oh no! Now it looks like an even ratio between 7th and 8th and 9th.
Okay, so we have a very good mix in here. So I think that's all we really need to know, and now we can go ahead and get started on the presentation portion. And like I said before, if you have any questions at any time, just go ahead and blurt it out. This is a really small group, so we have the chance to be able to do that. Okay, so what is Science Fair? Science Fair is a competition that provides students like you the opportunity to develop a STEM project that you are passionate about. One thing that's really unique about Science Fair and why it is so good for so many students is it's not pinpointed or categorized into this one certain area of science. You could basically do a project on any science-related topic you like, which is really great when you're trying to find out what your interests are, what you want to pursue, because you can explore it to any extent you would like. And so,
And remember, you guys are going to hear a lot about the word passion because that's our, like, above all, our main goal at Teach Learn is to inspire you guys and to do like projects you're passionate about. Because if you do something that you feel like, hey, I don't want to do this, but I'll do it because I have to, that's not the correct outlook, and it's only going to give you at best a subpar project. So we really want you guys to find a project that in a subject that you really enjoy or intrigues you.
okay, so that's a really good point Connor made. And one thing is, we find that a lot of times while winning isn't the main goal for science fair, it really helps give you the best experience you can from it. And a lot of the students that perform well in science fair, they are driven by that passion. So that's really what we're trying to help you guys find throughout this process. And one thing is, I don't know how much information they've given you guys about the science fair competition, but a lot of it is going to look very different. So the district competition has already been made online, and it has in fact been shifted 2 weeks forward. So you have lost a little bit of time there, but we're going to help you guys make sure you can get your testing done quickly and efficiently and still be able to produce a really good final product that you're proud of. And then if you were to come first in your category for junior division, that would allow you to advance on to the regional fair, which is the Science and Engineering Fair of Houston, which is a really great experience. And that's when a lot of the really fun elements of science fair start to come in, because at that competition, you'll find that there's lots of different special awards and lots of different people you meet and opportunities you can get from it. That competition has also been made online. We don't really know how that's going to look yet, but we'll share any information we get when it comes to us. And then after regionals, so the first free place projects and an honorable mention will get the opportunity to advance the state science fair, which one point I do want to make is how achievable that really is. While you think of state science fair as some kind of elite thing, that it's really hard to make it, if you put in a lot of hard work into your project, it's very possible to qualify. And so that competition, they haven't made a decision yet, but chances are it will be online. So while that is slightly disappointing that you won't get to have that same experience here, we're going to help you make the most of it and make sure you can still do a project to the best of your ability. So when competing in science fair, there are 3 main divisions that categories fall under. So this is generally where you'll start to look when deciding which topics or areas interest you. So this includes life science, which is projects that involve living things. And then we have physical science, which is the same, non-living things. And a lot of times this includes more experimental based, so that's when you're testing a question that is typically based on a problem. And then we also have the engineering categories, which kind of combine both of these, but instead of really testing a variable in the same sense, you're more developing or improving something that already exists.
What does a number means?
Can you say that again for me, sorry?
What does a number means?
Oh, the number.
Oh, okay. So the numbers for each that are next to each category are how many like actual subfields there are per the 3 categories. So for life sciences, there's different parts of it, such as like biochemistry or environmental. And for physical sciences, there's chemistry, math, engineering. There's like robotics and aerospace, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be going a little bit more in depth in this in the next.
And guys, remember, I'm pretty sure all the mentors here specialize in at least one of these fields. So I could help anybody who needs help with life sciences because that's what I have experience in and that's what I like teaching. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure all the other mentors have something they can contribute to each field. So if you guys need help, feel free to reach out to us because that's would really help the both of us.
Yeah, that is one advantage of this. If you ever need to, since now that we're using an online messaging platform, feel free to privately message us or anytime you have problems or questions that come up, or if you just want a little bit more advice, feel free to do that. We're here to help you. So now there's each of the science fair categories, which is the numbers you were referring to. So life science, like I said, is life and living organisms. So this includes animal science. Most of these names are pretty self-explanatory. So animal science is when you're focusing more on different parts of animals as such. And then we have behavioral science, which is more like looking more at kind of psychology and different elements like that. That's a very popular one for your age group. And then there's also biochemistry. Then we have environmental science, health and medicine, and plant sciences. Then moving on to physical science, which is non-living systems. We have astronomy and physics, computer sciences, chemistry and math. And then we have engineering, which is designing and improving things and overall developing products which can be applicable to the real world. So now we have aerospace engineering, chemical engineering, electrical, civil, and mechanical engineering, which is all one category. Then we have materials and bioengineering and robotics and intelligent machines. What I am going to do is we have a link here that covers each of the project categories that can help you guys with a lot more information. And so if you go over to the Science Fair General Voice, okay, I'm sorry, I accidentally left the call. So yeah, do not go into Science Fair General Voice like I did. Go under Science Fair Discussion, where you will find the link of project categories. Oh wow, there's a lot going on here. Okay, so it's going to go under Science Fair Announcements because... Okay, so under Science Fair Announcements, you will see a link to SCFH participants and project categories. So if you want more information after these on each of the categories after we take our survey, you'll be able to find that in that link. Okay. So this is going more into the differences between the engineering categories and the other categories. This is one point we really want to stress to you because a lot of times I've seen that engineering categories are often overlooked when a lot of students can do really well on them because their projects are applicable to multiple areas. And so if you have a question, you will be an experimental project, sorry. So this is why does something happen the way it does? What does this mean? Things like that. And then
I can't see the share screen.
Oh right, sorry. When I left, that got disconnected.
Yeah, when you left the call, I was about to say
Yeah.
the stream ended.
Okay. Is it back now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry about that, guys. And so then for engineering, we're basically looking at how can you improve something or even develop something of your own that can help solve a problem. So this basically, one thing that is often, including myself, is often overlooked, this is a mistake I made early on, is your science fair projects will be so much stronger if you can apply it to a real world topic or problem, especially if you have a personal experience with that, because that's really going to help get the point across to your judges about why your project is important and really why they should listen to you and why your work was worth your time. And so we'll go into that in the next few slides, but that is one thing I wanted to let you guys know about. Okay, so here we have the 7 steps to the scientific method. You will most likely not follow the scientific method perfectly because that's not how science works. A lot of things you may have encountered problems with your project, or things may not go perfectly the first time, but that's okay because it allows you to even rethink certain elements and help you gain a deeper understanding, and that is perfectly okay if that were to happen to you. And like I said before, the mentors are here to help you, so if you find that happens, you can reach out to a mentor who is experienced in your field and we will be able to help you out with that. And so
Yeah, so these are the steps of the scientific method are subject to change for each project because each project's different and there's different steps each person takes to execute like research and with their actual experiments. So don't feel like these are set rules that everybody has to follow. Like that's an example is like a difference between an experimental or like an engineering project because for asking a question that can mean very different things for each subject. So don't feel like, oh, I'm doing something wrong because I didn't follow this step. Just it basically what I follow is that if I can get through the integral steps, like a hypothesis, and I get a conclusion that's valid, and if I actually do an experiment and I get a proper conclusion, then that is a successful science project in my book. But just don't make sure you just skip the entire project. Like I saw a project before that just was basically 3 pieces of notebook paper slapped onto a whiteboard that was held together by duct tape, and it didn't have any of the steps that you needed to have a successful project. Like the hypothesis was more like, okay, this happened, and that's not what it is. So just make sure, even if you don't follow all the steps, make sure you follow the steps that you need to in a very clear and concise manner.
This is more of a structure for you to follow instead of a step-by-step process that has to be followed exactly. So on to the next one. Like I was saying, real-world applications are so important, and your teachers may not stress this enough to you. So this is how your project can be applied to the real world. Any strong project should have one. And so scientists always have a purpose. Like they identify something, they're curious about something, and preferably it's about a problem. And so we want you guys to start like taking inspiration from places around you. Like science is everywhere. So if there's something you've noticed or something that you've known is a problem, start taking note of those things, because science fair, it's coming up pretty close. So we want to get you guys to ready. And so now we're at the stage where we're going to do our survey. So I believe if you were to, we'll send the link under announcements again. But if you want to, if you're on a laptop, you can even scan that QR code with your phone and it should pick up for you. And it would probably be useful if you have a piece of paper or something somewhere you can take notes on nearby to help you keep track of things. So how this survey is going to work, I'm going to open it in a tab. Hang on, I have to change my share screen over to a new tab. So you guys can see that now for me to explain it. So how this is going to work is it's basically going to give you a statement on how much it's going to give you a statement on how much you enjoy something or an activity. And basically, if you really like it, you're going to rank it on a scale from 1 to 10. So 10 being the most, 1 being the least on how much you enjoy these topics. And then at the end, you're going to look at your scores for each number that's listed here. So for example, A goes to questions 1, 9, 14, and 16. So you're going to take your scores from each of those questions and add them up. And then when you're done, you'll be able to look at your highest scores, and those will correspond to which activities are best for you.
The person with the username who's 9152AB, I think your mic is a little too close to your mouth, and you're kind of breathing into it, and you're currently server muted. So if you could probably you might want to put it a little bit away because it's very loud. All right, I've just unmuted you.
Okay. He's muted again. It's okay. Stuff like that happens.
Yeah, it happens.
It's just part of the
online stuff. It's fine.
Okay, so Was everyone able to pull that up? I'll do a poll asking if you were able to successfully access it. Okay.
Judy, I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
So what's up with the groups? It says science fair group 3, group 4, and group 5.
Yeah.
So those were originally for our first 5 workshops, and we had a slightly larger amount of people per workshop, and they were formatted into like a different system. So we needed to split them up into smaller groups so that they were more manageable. And we split them into 5 groups: science fair group 1 through 5. So it's not really any like ranking system. It's more like just so we wouldn't die from, or the Discord wouldn't crash from this sheer amount of people.
Mm-hmm. It was just to prevent any further connection issues and help us organize it so it's more personalized for you guys. So if you head under Science Fair polls, if you haven't already, you'll be able to see I asked a question, you guys are group 2, that if you were able to successfully access your survey. There, we need a couple people had some problems, so if your username is lowkey or .cookieChris99, do you guys want to unmute yourselves and explain what was going wrong? Or if you weren't able to get it, so.
Where do you go do the survey?
The survey is, here, I'll put it back on my other slide. But if you go under Science Fair announcements channel, you should be able to see it, I believe. I'll put the screen share back on.
Science fair.
Okay. I'm not sure.
I'm a little curious as to like because this is the group that doesn't necessarily know what exactly their project is going to be like totally yet. But I'm a little curious. Who knows like what field of science fair they want to be in, like environmental or like even life science, physical science, and engineering. So I'm just gonna put a poll up right now. So if you know what field of science fair you want to be in, just click the poll. I do, or not sure yet, because I have a feeling most of you will have a brief idea of what you guys are interested in.
Where am I supposed to get this? How do I
If you scroll up, I believe, then there's a text channel, and it should have like a hashtag next to it, and it says Science Fair Polls. And if you click that, then you just vote on A or B. And A means yes, I do know what I want to be in, and B means I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
It looks like most of you have a general idea, so that's a really good start.
All right, yeah, so that's good. So, okay. That makes it a little bit easier as to narrow down what you guys actually want to do. All right. All right, I see. Wait a minute. Okay, never mind. So you're just there. I thought he wasn't in Science Fair Group 1. they were having a little bit of trouble with their actual Discord. It kept crashing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all solved now. So I think we're good. All right. So we just posted the survey instructions. If you don't get the instructions after opening it, feel free to unmute yourself and just discuss what's wrong, because last time there were a few people that were having a little trouble with the actual instructions for the doc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're splitting up the groups into more manageable sizes. Oh wow, now we're the biggest group.
Oh wow. Yeah,
I
it looks
win.
like Sanuja and Catherine had to split up to be able to handle.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make sure that everybody has a. Okay. I'm just. Sanuja's having fun with his two friends.
Okay, so if no one else has had any problems accessing the survey, we're going to give you guys a couple of minutes to get to complete that. And then we have a key, so we'll be able to discuss like what corresponds with which.
Give me. I'm gonna head to Sanuja's thing. I'm probably gonna recommend Sanuja add his group with Catherine's, because they both have like only 3 or 4 people. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Supposed to do right now? Not really sure.
Okay, so if you if you look at the side channels, you'll be able to see the science fair, or if you look on my live stream actually, you'll see that there is a QR code for a science fair survey. So if you're able to scan that, it'll take you to a document that allows you to complete a survey. I can cover the instructions for the survey again if you need me to. Are you able to?
Yes, please.
You would like me to go over the instructions? Okay. So I'm just going to change tabs again, so you guys can see.
I'm sorry, I just kind of zoned out.
No, that's okay. I get it. Long school days, it happens. Okay, so right here, we have the science fair idea survey. So this is basically going to give you a bunch of statements, and you'll rank them on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being how you don't enjoy this, 10 being you love doing this. And so once you read one of these statements, you'll give it a number. I recommend you have some kind of paper next to you or a method of writing it down. Once you've completed that stage, you'll look, say, A, for example. So A is about numbers 1, 9, 14, and 16. So you'll look at what you put for those questions, and you'll add up your ratings to this box. And then we'll all go over the key, which will show you which letters correspond with which categories. And
Thank you.
of course. So was everyone able to access the survey? Okay, I think we're good for that part.
Is the survey called Science Fair Idea?
Yes, that's it.
So what do I do after that?
If you click on it, it should take you there, and it'll give you a series of statements. And so if you could just read through each one of those and give it a number on a scale from 1 to 10, then you'll be able to go to the bottom of the document and you can add up your totals, and then we'll discuss how that corresponds to project categories.
All right. If now that you guys are back, we're just gonna give you guys a few more minutes to finish it up. And if you feel like you can't finish it in a few minutes, then you don't necessarily have to, because this is just for your personal use and to like recognize what you're interested in. Though most of you have a pretty good idea as to what you're interested in, but those of you who don't, just make sure to finish this because it'll give you a pretty good idea of fields you might want to do your science fair project in.
And when we go over the key, it shows you a little bit of what is on the document, so you'll still be able to get that information. Okay, so I think now we're at the stage where we can start to look at the key. If you haven't completely finished yet, that's okay. Hang on. Just give me one moment while I sort out the key.
All right, guys. I recognize that a lot of you actually do know what field of science fair you want to be in. So, who wants to be the courageous and unmute themselves and just say what their name is and like what field of science they're in? That's it. I believe. No one.
I'm gonna go ahead and say a couple things about the key really quick. So it looks like if your highest score was an A, you were likely a life science person. And if you were, yeah, I'm not able to find, I don't think this is the correct document. All I can find is one, I'll stream so that it can be seen, but so then B is an indicator that you're interested in computer science, coding, things of that area. C is behavioral and looking more at people, so that could even be more medicine and health. Then we have D, which looks like engineering kind of categories. So if that was a high score for you, I would recommend you go into one of those. And then E looks like another life science, more environmental and looking at how humans interact with the earth. And then we have F, which looks like a physical science, which is looking more at like concepts of nature, not nature, sorry, more like forces, so gravity, magnetism. Then that's also astronomy and physics. So, is anyone willing to discuss which areas of science they would like to do?
Yeah, I think I heard someone say medical.
Medical? Oh yeah.
Yes. Who said medical? Come on, I know one of you did.
Well, I'm in the physical science F.
Okay, so the physical sciences. Do you have an idea of like more in depth as to what you would do in the physical sciences? I'm pretty sure there's only like 4 categories. So are you interested in like math or like?
Yeah, probably. I'm a math kid.
Math
Okay.
person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, there's some definitely really cool things you can do with math. That includes like the Fibonacci sequence, stock market projects, all kinds of different things like that. So that could be really interesting.
And doing a math project for like, especially during quarantine, is probably one of the better options.
Yeah.
Because math isn't really restricted to actual like physical stuff you need to edit or like experiment with.
Yeah.
And that's what's recommended from SEFH is to do projects that you can do within your own home. And a lot of the more robust, really like large scale projects aren't practical with today's like standards of science fair. So math is actually one of the like I guess top 3 things you can do, especially during this time for science fair.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of limitations on things you can do. So it's great that you're interested in that. And if you're looking to do a life science project, we'll work with you and make sure you can still come up with something that works despite what's going on. So.
And if you have any questions about math, Sanuja, Sanuja, one of our mentors, he did his past science fair project in the math category. So if you have any questions about how it goes there or have any issues with the field, then you should probably go direct message him or just hop into a voice call with him and message like if you feel like you have any complications.
Okay, thanks for the info.
Of course, that's what we're here for. So the username.
Anybody else want to be courageous and discuss what field of science they're interested in? The imposter.
Did you say medical?
No, that wasn't.
Okay. I swear I heard someone say medical. I'm not going crazy.
I heard it too. Okay.
If you said medical, then I'm like,
Yeah,
I
Rotem
have
too.
experience in medicine health. So if you need help with that, just let me know.
Oh, wait, I heard it again. Who said it?
Yes,
Karina, was that you?
Karina. You're interested in medical. What grade are you in now, Karina? Are you at Macaulay yet, or you're in 5th grade? Okay, that's great. So you'll be getting involved in that really early. So by the time you start to do science fair in 7th grade, you'll have a lot of experience and a good idea of what you want to do. So I think it's really great that you're doing this young. So Rotem, do you maybe want to talk to her? I know nothing about medical.
Yeah. I have no idea.
So, I'm really interested in medical and different things like that. So there are a lot of different things you can go into with medicine. Obviously, there are so many different topics and so many different prevalent things in the medical world today. So do you have any like sort of more specific topics that you're interested in medicine?
I was thinking something like migraines.
Migraines? Okay, that's cool.
That's really interesting. That's really interesting. So, you're interested in like, here, wait, sorry. You're interested, did you say you're interested in migraines?
Yes.
Yeah, so for the medical field. So especially for the medical field, it's a field that when many people look at it when they're not actually doing a project based in it, they feel like it's too complicated, and that's not how you should feel because all topics are broad and vast, and there's not many restrictions in fields that apply to age. Because you might have a more complicated or less complicated project, but that shouldn't stop you from doing it if you have an interest in it, because you can always keep going with that passion to later years, and it'll actually spark maybe even a career choice. And another thing to add for, especially for medical fields, if you do something with human participants, make sure it's follows the guidelines for safety, because human experimentation, there's a lot of restrictions that come with it. So like, for invertebrates, you're not allowed to do some specific things that would like cause intentional pain or like put subjects in any danger. So just make sure you read up on that.
So if you're doing like a category that has to do with like medicine, like I've done medicine and health, I tend to use like models instead of like actual human subjects. So if you look into that, there are a lot of different invertebrate models that you'll be able to use. So there are a lot of different things out there. So I would do research into that to see what kind of models you'll be able to use if you want to do something in like medicine and health.
Mm-hmm. And migraines especially, I think, is a really good topic since there's so many potential causes for that. There's lots of different factors you could look at, and that would make a really strong study. So thank you for sharing. And okay, the imposter, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Talk louder.
Okay, I heard
No, I think it's just your mic quality, because you're plenty loud, but I feel like if you're using headphones, just pull them out and plug them back in, and if you're not, maybe just get a little closer.
I don't have a mic for the computer though that I can see.
Okay. I can hear you a little better now. Do you want to go ahead and say which?
All right. So, my project is going to be seeing what kind of music helps you focus the best on like math tests, basically.
Okay, so you're planning on doing a human behavioral study. So that's yeah. So human behavioral is it's one of the most broad ones, and it's one of the most popular ones for science fairs, people that are doing science fair, especially in earlier years, because it's not very there's not many like parts to it that have any complications. Like there's no tools or there's no like complex tools or equipment you need to actually do a project like that. So that's a really good choice. And so you're planning on doing something about helping people focus by listening to different types of music during math tests. So yeah, it's a pretty straightforward project, and that's what you want for a project, especially if you're not quite sure if you're not quite sure if you actually want to do something in that field. But yeah, so the only serious thing I could criticize for that project idea is like, okay, you want to do something on humans, so make sure you have to sign safety forms for all human behavioral projects. So make sure you get the right ones, because I know quite a few people that didn't sign them and their projects got disqualified or they were counted as void and invalid. So that's basically the only thing I have for that project.
Okay, I think I will mostly be seeing it on myself.
I'm sorry, what?
All right, I'll make sure to do the right paperwork.
Yeah, human behavioral is pretty broad as to what you can do. So there's not too many things that can go wrong with it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're new to science fair, but you'll be logging all your project information through a program called Scienteer. So basically, as you go through that, you'll be checking different boxes on what your projects may include, and you'll definitely talk to your teachers about it, and they'll make sure that you get everything corrected. So, and one note I do want to make on that project is make sure to make it even stronger, make sure you have a control group. So, or like you eliminate any outliers, basically is what I'm trying to say. So perhaps you could give one set of people no music and a different set of people music and see how they perform. And when doing this, try and make sure each of the people are of equal mathematical ability, if that makes sense. If they're all able to, say you're doing simple multiplication, make sure every person has that down. So you can, it's purely based on the music, not because of their previous knowledge, if that makes sense. That'll just help you get the most like reliable results for your study.
They want to eliminate any other variables.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, that's really important when you're testing one single variable like that. So
if you guys don't quite know like what your project is going to be on yet, so we have like, so what we're going to discuss is we have two main methods of finding like a specific area of interest you're in, like things that are happening in the real world. And these things are the I Wonder journal and the funnel method. And we're just going to move to those slides right now, I think.
Yeah. So allow me to change. Sorry, 1 second.
It's fine.
Okay, it says my server is not responding, which is a little concerning.
Okay, I'll go ahead and screen share then.
Okay, thank you.
All right, y'all, if you pay attention to the stream, give me a sec. So first we have their two main things. We have the I Wonder journal. Now, an I Wonder journal is one of the two methods that we're going to discuss of how to narrow down to an actual science fair project. So first, how to create an I Wonder journal. So what you first do is you write down any questions you have about the real world. So like these questions, they can be about anything, really. Anything that interests you or anything that you don't quite know but you want to learn more of. And so examples for stuff in the I Wonder journal is, okay, why is reducing friction important for machine function? And why do frogs stick to objects or stuff like that? Anything that you don't quite know or something you want to learn more of. Now, for those of you who are going to the Academy of Science and Technology, we're going to, like, you guys are required, I believe, for the next